Hey y'all, what's good? Welcome back. It's Faith, aka your faithful realtor. If you are a first-time home buyer, definitely stay tuned because I'm about to give y'all some tips before y'all even try to get into this home buying process, okay? I see a lot of things when going through this home buying process. I need all y'all home buyers to be on game. I need y'all to be on point. These are some mistakes that you should avoid in the form of tips.
Yeah, I'm outside in an AMG, right outside, TT, two-turn baby girl, you know me.
We just gonna get into it, okay? So my first tip is, just because you bank with them doesn't mean you need to get a loan through them. Just because you bank with this big bank, aka Chase, doesn't mean you need to get a loan product through them and get a mortgage through them. When I'm working with clients, I always recommend to work with a lender compared to a big bank. These bigger banks tend to try to sell you on a lot of different things besides a mortgage, like a checking account, a savings account, and all this. Okay, listen, you only want a mortgage. You only want a mortgage. And when working with a bigger bank, along with that, their rates may be higher. They're not as flexible as lenders. They're not as creative when it comes to these different loan products. So say, for example, if you go in for an FHA loan and you don't qualify, they're not going to try to figure out a different way or a different type of loan product that'll be able to best suit you and your needs. If you don't qualify for the FHA or conventional loan, you just don't qualify. Compared to a mortgage lender, if something does not work out, then they're going to try to customize a loan product or even try to guide you in the right direction to let you know what you need or the steps that you need to take to be able to become qualified to buy a property. Number two, this is one that I see a lot, especially during my consultations and like the pre-approval process. Please do not lie to your realtor. I get a lot of people during consultations that lie to me. And how do I find out that they lied to me? Is when I speak with the lender. Once I have the consultation, well, during the consultation, I ask clients, what their credit score is. I ask them how much savings they have. I try to get into a little bit of the financials. And then everything is good to go. I send them over to the lender. And now the lender is coming back to me. Hey, this person doesn't qualify. Hey, this person doesn't have enough money saved up. Hey, this person doesn't that. And then when I go back and I look at the notes that was taken from our consultation, just for example, the lender said they don't have no money saved up. They done told me they had $10,000 saved up. Their credit score is a 700. Come to find out, their credit score from the lender side is actually in the 500s. They told me they didn't have any missed payments or any delinquencies on their credit. And then you learn from the lender, they do. They have a lot of missed payments and they cannot qualify for a loan. Like, what? Do not lie to your realtor, because guess what? I'm gonna find out anyway. So please, if you work with me or if you work with any other realtor, do not lie. My third tip I have is, just because you're ready to start renting doesn't mean you're ready to be a homeowner. Before you start to get into the home ownership, home buying process, please make sure you understand, what you're getting into. It is completely different from being a renter. When you're a renter, you're able to go to your landlord or your apartment complex and let them know, hey, this isn't working. Cool, all right, you put in a work order and then maintenance is on their way, But when you're a homeowner, guess what? You are now the person that has to be responsible to call these people to get it fixed. And guess what? You have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. This is going to be a whole different ball game. Now you're talking about property taxes, you're talking about homeowners, flood insurance. Like, this is a whole different ball game. So really, truly understand what you're getting into, because paying rent is totally different from paying a mortgage, okay? Totally different. My tip number 4, down payment and closing costs are 2 separate things. I get a lot of clients that come to me and they say, oh, I thought, like, they see when people say, oh, 100% financing, 0% down, and all this, like all this and all this and all that, and then they get excited because they think they don't have to put any money down. But in reality, when somebody says 100% financing or 0% down, they're literally only talking about the down payment. They're not talking about the closing costs. If you are able to get into a 100% financing program, cool. If you're a veteran, you can be able to get 0% down with a VA loan. If you are a person whose credit score allows them to qualify for the 0% down, great, kudos to you. But if you're not, that down payment is solely your responsibility. And then you have closing costs. Now, closing costs, you can be able to negotiate that, you know, during negotiation phase, when you're about to put in an offer on a property that you like. You can negotiate that with the seller and, you know, sometimes get the seller to cover majority, cover some, or even at times cover all of your closing costs. That can sometimes happen, but you have to prepare yourself to pay your down payment and your closing costs. These are 2 separate fees. With these tips, I definitely just want to be able to help someone out there, because this is what I see a lot of the times when I'm working with different buyers and when we're going through the home buying process. I see a lot of this. So yeah, these are some of my tips for my first time home buyers out there. There's a lot more tips and I can definitely make another video about that. But for now, these are my 4 tips, and thank you. I love you. Bye.